Well, look at this. Right as I was uploading this video, same title, same description. I've changed nothing. Izzy drops this video, and this is exactly what he said, which validates everything that was in my video. Bottom line. So let's watch it together, and then you can see what I said in the video about Izzy not wanting a rematch and why and how we know, etc. So let's watch this really quick, and then you can watch my incredible video that has a bunch of other stuff in it too. Boom.
We talked about you being active and whatnot. When do you think people will see you back in the octagon?
We'll see.
Do you care who holds the belt?
Nope.
Boom. Now keep in mind that I recorded this video before I saw this. He dropped this 5 minutes ago. So keep that in mind when you see what I said, because I was right. Let's go. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we got a bunch of stuff to go through. A lot of Sean Strickland stuff, a lot of Izzy stuff, and some Dana White stuff, and some Dylan Dennis stuff as well. So buckle in, dude. It's gonna be a fun Wednesday. All right, so we got Sean Strickland commenting on the Israel Adesanya rematch. We got Dana talking about Israel Adesanya related to the rematch. Very notable in both cases. There's a video that just dropped of Sean Strickland talking about something that, to me, it's like, dude, if he's going to be the middleweight champion that everybody's paying attention to, this is a video you have to see, to gauge whether or not you love him, hate him, like him, whatever. It's critical. And then we're going to talk about Dana White had some very interesting comments about Mike Bell. Looks like Dana might have seen my video about Mike Bell, where I said, I'm just going to directly accuse Mike Bell of being dirty, So I said that. I said, I'm going to accuse Mike Bell of being dirty until I hear otherwise. And Dana, in front of the whole world, said the exact same thing at his press conference yesterday. Literally said exactly what I said. Not just that, but that he should be investigated. Except literally exactly what I said. Anyway, so we're going to go over all of those things. Last time this month, we're going to thank Yo Kratom as the sponsor of this video. If you guys love Kratom, then go check them out, dude. YoKratom.com, best source of Kratom on the internet. $60 kilograms. You're going to love it. It gets here in 2 days every single time. I am on it right now. What do you know about that? Anyway, so yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Clicking subscribe takes 1 second, and it helps my emotional state incredibly. It also helps with the algorithm. You know what really helps with the algorithm, though, is if you like this video. If you don't mind liking this video, I would appreciate it very much. It takes 1 second. Thank you very much in advance, and I look forward to earning your subscription with your continued viewership. All right, so let's watch this thing right now. All right, so we're going to start right here with the Sean Strickland video that I alluded to about him being either a really good dude, really bad dude. Basically, I'm just going to say this, man. Let's just jump right to it. If you don't like Sean Strickland after watching this video, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is one of the most likable videos from a professional athlete that I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever. I'm just going to put it like that. Let's watch it.
Hey, what up, guys? I want to run some shit by you. Met up with the manager. Brought me all the fucking money deals, which is crazy because like a couple months ago I was unsponsorable. Now everybody wants to give me fucking money. It's nice. Anyway, she brought me a good deal, and the fucking deal was that all I gotta do is sign some shit, and this company's gonna pay me really good, and they're gonna take said shit that I signed and sell it to you guys or whoever wants it. And you guys, I've done it before, and I feel so fucking dirty when I do that. I feel so fucking dirty, like it fucking irks my soul. I would do this shit for free. So I want to fight early next year, ideally. And before that fight, I want to do a meet and greet. I don't know if it's in Vegas, in California. We'll fucking spar. We'll bring some gloves. I'll sign whatever the fuck you want me to sign for free, man. I fucking love you guys. So I don't know where it's going to be or when, but before my next fight, I want to make this shit happen. So
okay, so you guys get the point. Now, I want to say this, okay? So here's the thing. I wanted to platform that because I think it's a really classy thing that he's saying that he wants to do. I want to say the following to Sean Strickland. The fact that he feels bad selling his, selling things that he signs to people that are his fans is a commendable emotional reaction to that. I completely understand, and I totally understand that emotion. And it makes me like him a lot, to be honest. It makes me like him a lot. It makes me respect him a lot, because the way that he's looking at it is he's like, look, dude, I would do this for free. I don't feel comfortable taking cash for something that I would do for free, especially if the people who are paying are people who love me and they're my fans. Like, I would much rather just do it for free. So here's what I'm going to say back to that. You can still do exactly what you're laying out. Do a live event and sign things for free. You should definitely do that. I encourage you to do that. If fans want to buy things specifically that have your signature on them, like higher class things than they could get on their own, as an example, some kind of frame poster of you clipping Izzy, right? They can't get that on their own. Your signature on it. It's a piece of art. It's beautiful, right? It is a beautiful piece of art, and it's worth a lot of money, right? And it's worth a lot more money because your physical signature is on it. Why deny them the ability to buy a thing like that and hang it in their wall? And if they're going to spend, serious money on a thing like that because they're a big fan of yours, why should you not share in the revenue that's generated by that? Like, not all times that you are, accepting money from people who are your fans, is it something dirty? It's not dirty. It's genuinely not dirty. The only time that it's dirty is if you're doing it where the terms are not clear, you know what I mean? Like, if the terms are, and you can give your signature away and at the same time still do a deal like this where you are benefiting from the station that you have built yourself to as a professional athlete. You could do both things. Be extraordinarily generous with your time, as you have been. Be extraordinarily generous with taking photographs of people, as you have been. Never complain about that. Do it for free anytime that people come there. But there are a lot of people, they can't come there physically. They can't. They can't get there. They literally cannot get there, right? And they have money that they want to spend on this stuff. So all I'm saying is, don't let your sometimes misplaced guilt for taking money from fans keep fans from getting things they want to pay for. Like, they want that. They want it. Now, if you wanted to set up some kind of thing where anyone can send you anything and you will sign it and send it back to them, that's a different thing. You're like, I will never take money for my signature, period. I totally understand that if that's what you want to do, but that seems like very labor intensive because you're going to have people ship things to you. You're going to sign them, and then you have to have some method for shipping it back to them. And just as a person who ships out like 7 things a month, it's a huge pain in the ass. Don't deny people the ability to buy things with your signature on it if that's what they want to do, is all I'm saying. That doesn't mean unless doing this deal, they're saying like, and by the way, you can't sign anything for free. If they're doing that, then fuck that. Don't do that deal. Like, you can win and be genuinely grateful to your fans at the same time. Like, that's, the two things are not mutually exclusive. But I just want to reiterate, I think this is fucking cool, dude. Like, I think this is a very cool thing that Sean Strickland put out that shows a level of humility and gratitude that I respect a lot. So that's what it is. All right. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is, let's go to what Sean Strickland said about the rematch with Izzy. And now let's watch it. Bam.
And we talked for a minute. And I asked him, I said, when you were in there, I said, what did you feel? He was like, I honestly could not believe what was happening. Because he was not only beating Adesanya, but he was beating Adesanya in a way that he couldn't even have anticipated. He was like, DC, I promise you, I didn't think that the fight was going to be like that. He felt like, he said, I was having my way with him. But one thing he did say that was very key. He goes, but in the rematch, I think it'll be harder. He thinks that he might have got overlooked a little bit by Adesanya.
So here's what I want to say about that. Honestly, you want to know what I want to say? I want to say I was hot and cold on Strickland, dude. Honestly, I liked his honesty, but like, again, the Rogan thing, I was kind of like, dude, he's like, thought it was cool that he was going to shoot a guy in the head. I thought that was kind of weird. But man, every single thing that he's said or done since he's been the champion has gotten me like, I'm like, all right, I was here on him, now I'm here. All right, now I'm here, now I'm here. Like, I'm a fan of Sean Strickland now, straight up, And I don't want to sound like some kind of like bandwagoner, because that's not how I decide who I like and don't like. I just think that this guy is showing an incredible amount of class in every single category that I'm measuring him in, And in this case, again, this is just a really great demonstration of humility, right? Like, he's like, look, I didn't expect it to go that way. Now, that's not surprising to me at all. If you looked at his face going into the octagon against Izzy, this is not shocking to you that he was expecting a really, really tough go. That was obvious. The guy wears his heart on his sleeve, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and when he was going into the octagon, you could see he was expecting, a really, really tough go that night. And he did not have a tough go. He had his way with Izzy, exactly like he said to DC. And given that, he remains humble in that he's saying like, yeah, I really had my way with him, but at the same time, I think it's going to be different in the rematch because I think Izzy overlooked me. I completely agree with that. Now, again, I'm not saying that means Izzy's going to win the rematch at all, but that is why I was saying that I want that rematch with Izzy, because we've seen that when Izzy has his mind right, he is a very, very formidable adversary. And I don't think we've ever seen him go into a fight where he was so relaxed that he didn't think there was any chance he was going to lose. And that is how he went into this fight. You know, that's how he went into this fight. Bottom line, he really believed that there was no chance that he was going to lose. And then Strickland just whipped his ass. But even still, dude, again, I'm not saying that Izzy will win, but I want to see what he's got. I want to see him try to rise from the ashes, you know, because now Strickland just became his biggest adversary. He really did, dude. I mean, you could say Pereira, but Sean Strickland broke him in front of the entire world. I would argue that Strickland has now become the biggest adversary that Izzy has ever had because no one has broken him before, and Strickland broke him in front of the entire world, in Australia, in front of the bottom line. So, again, I want to see it. But now, getting to the next part of this video, this is what Dana said about Izzy coming back and fighting. Notable.
Have you had a chance to speak to Israel Adesanya yet? We're still kind of waiting to see.
I have not. I know he's in LA right now working on some stuff, but no, I haven't talked to him.
Are you waiting to hear from him before you decide what to do at middleweight?
No. Listen, he's one of the things, we were talking about this week too, that we always love about Israel. Israel was willing to fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, loved to turn around quickly and fight again. And when he wants to fight, he'll let us know.
Seriously, like, you know, before I tell you what I take from that, what do you guys take from that? Because to me, it's very obvious.
When do you think people will see you back in the octagon?
We'll see.
Do you care who holds the belt?
No.
Now, given that Strickland broke him in that fight, can we take that as anything other than Izzy is afraid of Strickland? At least right now, dude. At least right now. Have you ever seen Izzy not want to turn around and fight a guy who beat him? Right? I mean, you know, well, that's actually, no, you know, except for Alex Pereira. Does he look like the same guy? He got broken in there. He doesn't want to fight now. He doesn't care Strickland. Why is he not saying, yeah, I want Strickland to have the belt? He's afraid of him. He got broken in there. I mean, at least that's how it looks to me, dude. I mean, maybe he needs time to get his mindset to a place where he's, you know, he can get in there with a guy who just beat him like he just got beat. But this looks like a different Izzy to me, right? Dana said he always tells us when he wants to fight. He's always wanted to turn around very quickly. He hasn't heard from Izzy since the fight. Izzy has not told him that he wants to fight. And when you look at the conversations that have happened throughout Twitter, YouTube, every other place, that was the number one conversation for the last 2 weeks has been, should Izzy get an immediate rematch? Should he not get an immediate rematch? Should someone else fight Sean Strickland? Blah, 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 blah. Izzy knows the game, dude. Izzy knows the game. If he wants an immediate rematch, he's going to ask for an immediate rematch. He's going to make noise. Izzy is a lot of things. Stupid ain't one of them. Izzy is a lot of things. Not a person who understands the fight game. Also, not one of them. He completely understands his position in the fight game. He knows if he wants to get an immediate rematch, given all of the talk in the industry, he needs to campaign for it. Maybe not even necessarily publicly, but he definitely has to tell the brass that he wants that fight. If he's not telling them he wants that fight, he doesn't want that fight. At least not right now. I don't even think you can argue with that. I don't even think that there's a position that you could take in an adversarial position you could take to that. He doesn't want the fight right now, or else he'd ask for it because he knows he's in the running for it, probably at the top of the list. And if he's just going to sit back and wait for Costa and Khamzat to happen, then he's very likely going to sit back and find himself out of position for a rematch. If Khamzat goes in and mashes Costa, he needs to go in now if he wants that fight. He knows that. He's not doing that. He doesn't want it right now. Now, what does that tell you? Maybe that just means he's like, I need a break. You know, I need a break. But break is also an interesting word to use because he got broken in the octagon, right? He got broken. He doesn't want an immediate rematch. Do you know what I mean? It seems very notable to me. It seems very notable to me that he's not asking for the fight. So we'll see. I think Strickland is going to be surprised if it's not Izzy that he fights again. I would imagine Strickland, if you asked him who he wanted, he might say he doesn't care, but everybody has a preference. There's no way that Strickland doesn't have a preference. His preference might be as simple as whoever the fans want me to fight. It sounds like he is deferring to the fans in all categories. Another thing that is, you know, kicking him up a level on my, you know, how much I like this guy. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. So Now, with that incredible segue where I went from Strickland to Dana to Izzy, and anyway, whatever. Hey, edit that out. I will. By the way, I made a huge mistake yesterday. Okay, so I really struggle with like where to put videos if I don't think that they're like really, really grabby, right? And that video that I did yesterday about Bisping and John Jones and the NBA player who wanted to fight John Jones, that video is absolute nuclear fire. It's so good. But I put it on Jesse on Fire After Hours thinking it would do good numbers, and it hasn't. So clearly not very many people have seen it. And so I just wanted to stress to you guys, you should definitely watch that video because it's really good. Let me take it back. If you think I'm funny, right? Like if you're one of these people that just watches me for like information, oh, there's a story, so let's just hear what it is, then maybe not. But if you're a person who's ever laughed at my jokes, you're going to think that video is real funny. So on my second channel, go watch the video that I put up yesterday about the NBA player who wanted to fight John Jones and Michael Bisping coming after him because it's solid. Anywho, but now let's switch gears over to what Dana White said about Judge Mike Brown, who gave Valentina the 10-8 round in totally unforgivable fashion. And I just want to reiterate that what I said on Twitter and on my video on my second channel, Jesse on Fire After Hours, is I said, I am just going to directly accuse this guy of betting on Grasso. He should get investigated. He should get investigated unless he gives some kind of statement, explains himself. Otherwise, I'm just going to say directly, he probably bet on Grasso. And now Dana said it too. So let's watch.
I was on vacation when this thing happened, and I'm sitting in my house going, when I found out that one of the judges scored 10-8, I'm like, this guy should be fucking investigated for this. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And as I started to talk to people, I guess there was there's a seminar tomorrow with the Athletic Commission on 10-8s. So hopefully they can get this cleared up, especially in title. There's so much at stake in a title fight, more than just money, show and win and pay-per-view and championships and legacies. And it's just, you have to have the best of the best in title fights. So they've assured me that this guy isn't a bad guy. He just up and made a mistake, and it's unfortunate, and there's no way in hell that was a 10-8 round. Okay,
so you guys get the point, right? So I just want to say this. Look, I don't actually think that this guy bet on Grasso. Just so we're clear, I don't actually think that. What I was saying is that it was such an egregious, really my entire point was this. It's such an egregious score that he should have to explain himself. Simple as that. He should have to explain himself. And I'll be totally honest with you, actually. This is actually, I'm really glad that I brought this up because I saw Bisping talking to Anthony about it, right? And like I said, I don't watch that much MMA YouTube. A lot of times people ask me about video, I haven't seen them, but I did watch these two guys, talk about these because obviously I'm buddies with both of them and I was curious what their opinions were. And I they disagreed on who they thought won some of the rounds. Both of them obviously agreed that there was absolutely no chance that fight was a 10-8. However, when Michael Bisping explained that they had gone through a training on 10-9, 10-8, 10-7 rounds, that technically the rules are now this is what's funny about this. This is not the rules are different than I understood them to be. If they actually are as Bisping explained them, it still is irrelevant because it wouldn't make this round a 10-8 round. But nonetheless, so what Bisping explained, if you guys missed this, and this is really interesting, is that he said that the trainer said that a 10-9 round is if it's very, very close, but you think someone won the round, okay? A 10-8 round if someone obviously very clearly won the round. That's it. If it's very obvious to everyone that one person won the round, that's 10-8, right? So, and then if someone beat the brakes off someone, just utterly demolished them, think a famous 10-8 round that was how we understand 10-8 rounds, that's actually supposed to be a 10-7. Is what Bisping said. No one ever scores anything 10-7. That doesn't happen, right? So if those are the rules, If those really are the rules, I actually think that's better. I think that if that is how this was practiced, that would make the scoring much better, because when you only have 10-9 or 10-8, and 10-8 is like the most drastic thing that could possibly happen, then, you know, like it ends up being these kind of like shaky scores. If someone beats if someone really handily wins a round and someone lands 100 strikes, I mean, that's ridiculous, actually. Actually, maybe not. Okay, so let's say someone lands 65 strikes to someone's 22 and there's no ground game in a round. I don't think that would be a 10-8 round right now if there were no knockdowns, but maybe it should be, right? It's like, okay, well, that's crystal clear. If it's close, if there's a takedown there and one person landed 15 more heads, you know what I mean? If it's like close at all and you go 10, like I actually think that this would make the scoring better, but that has clearly not been how the rounds have been scored thus far. And nonetheless, even with that criteria in mind, you can't score that at 10-8 because Valentina controlled the fight for the first 3 to 3.5 minutes in the fifth round. So even with a much looser interpretation of 10-8, it's still not a 10-8, you know? But anyway, I thought that was very interesting. And I just, I think current state, how it's judged, is not as good as how Bisping, scored it. I'm sorry, I explained this, the way it's supposed to be scored. And the way I am suggesting that it's scored. You know what? I'm going to revamp mixed martial arts all around right now. Ready? You do weigh-ins exactly like IBJJF, where you weigh in right before you fight. Okay? So yeah, you probably expect almost everyone to move up a weight class because you need to make 185 and then fight, an hour later or whatever, right? Okay, I think that is what you need to do. That way people actually have to be that weight. Okay, it's not like it's fun, dude. You still have to like cut weight and then carry that weight. You have to go to sleep the night before knowing you're going to fight the next day at that weight. You know what I mean? Like it's not fun to cut weight, but you're not killing yourself and then going and blowing back up. It's like, I don't even understand why we do that. So that's weight cuts. And then on the scoring, if you can score jiu-jitsu in a very objective way where sweeps are 2 points, taking the back is 4, mount is 4, then all you have to do is add in, and takedowns are there too. All you have to do is add in submission attempts, strikes landed, specific types of strikes landed, and give point values to that. And you could actually have a measurable point structure for who wins these rounds, as opposed to like, well, I just feel like the guy was blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's just like so subjective. It's dumb. You could solve these problems. You could solve the weight cut problem. You could solve the scoring problem to where people can really, like, we don't have to rely on the fucking weasel to go in and be like, I think this was a light strike. I think this was a medium strike. And it's like, see, dude, the weasel said it. So bottom line, dude, that's the end result. It's like, dude, just fucking put in a functional, measurable point structure for how we score fights. It's not rocket science, you know what I mean? And then so you still want to do the 10-8 round thing, then a 10-8 round is if someone has 10 plus more points than the other person for that round or something. Like, all of this is solvable. Just fucking put some people in a room and then implement it. Stop getting tied to how things have always been done if the way that things have been done is fucking stupid. Anyway, that's what I got. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.